Good morning, it's 37.2 degrees, 5:15 on May 9th, day 37. I'm waking up. Alright guys, good morning. It is 6:33 and 40.5 degrees. 40.5, I'm leaving, leaving Midnight Chocolate, leaving Mome, and then last night, once the three of us were all kind of in our bunks, kind of quieting down for the night, not quite yet asleep, but once we were all kind of bunking up, Half Mile showed up, so that was pretty cool. Pretty cool to see him. I guess he said that the rest of the group, so Scout 700, Big Green, and Heater, that those four all stopped back at that big, beautiful, raging river with the large log river crossing, which was, I guess, about 3 miles back, I should say. Yes, they wouldn't be far behind, but they tend to start a little later, which is fine. Whatever works for them. And we're gonna see how we go today. Let's see, I do have my sealskin socks on, so this will be the maiden day of those today. So that's pretty exciting. Definitely kind of anticipating some snow at some point, but I feel like I've been saying that for 2 or 3 days now. So we'll kind of see how that decision pays off. And to begin the day, we just have a climb back up into the mountains. I think we're going to be about as high today as we were yesterday, somewhere up about around 10,500. I think we scrape 11,000, if not today, definitely tomorrow. Yeah, and let's see what else. So my Garmin InReach Mini is just not holding a charge at all. Charged it yesterday up to about 45% or so. Woke up this morning and it was dead. It's been doing this for like, I don't even know how long, 4 days, 5 days, since a day or two before I lost it a few days ago. So that's a bit of a bummer. I'm gonna try and reach out to them once I get to whatever trauma and see if there's a solution available. You know, I imagine at this point it's gonna involve a replacement Garmin, but we'll kind of see how we go. I mean, an emergency device that doesn't hold a charge isn't very good. There's some kind of animal up here. A whole flock of elk. Look at that. 8 of them. Wow. Yeah. Whole herd. Oh, more than 8. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. Golly. Just 10 elk. So yesterday it was 6. Today it's 10. That's pretty cool. Gosh, I wish I hadn't been talking. I probably could have. Oh, there's another little baby guy off getting that morning grass. Gosh, 2 more. How cool is that? 3 more babies. Wow. CDT, baby. Anyways, so got to deal with the Garmin issue and trauma. And last night, Mome, his sleeping pad, kept kind of making these big popping sounds, like pop. And I guess all the different baffles were kind of popping together to form one big bubble, which is no good at all. And it was a lucky thing for him that Half Mile showed up, because Half Mile has a typical sort of inflatable sleeping pad, and also has an additional sort of like accordion closed cell foam sleeping pad. So Half Mile is kind enough to let Mome use the closed cell foam pad. Mome reports having slept just fine with that. Hopefully half mile can make do without that for the next 2 nights, and hopefully Moma can borrow it to get into Chama, but I guess we'll see what they decide. Yeah, anyways, this has been a super long morning check-in on account of those elk. But how cool is that? Alright. Well, I left everyone back at camp. They're all kind of putting their stuff together. I'm gonna get hiking, and I'll check in with you guys a little later. Guys, good afternoon. It's 1:26 p.m. Goodness. 54.8 degrees, windy. Windy in this little valley. I thought I had chosen a good time to turn on. Yeah, so just finished lunch. We are also hiking around a group of let me explain that. So me, Moma, and Midnight Chocolate are hiking in proximity to another group of 3 made up of Porky, or Porcupine, Kingpin, and oh gosh, Dynamite. Group of 3 guys. So yeah, so we had lunch with them. Nice guys. And so far today's been pretty good. We're about 15 miles into the day. While back at lunch, discussed our next sort of rendezvous point, which is going to be about 8 miles ahead. And sounds like me and Midnight are both kind of leaning towards, you know, provided we make it there halfway early, both kind of leaning towards pushing on beyond that, especially since yesterday was such an early day. But like everything, we're going to see how we feel. We're going to see how this trail treats us, and we're going to make whatever decision seems best at the time with the information we have at that time. So yeah, it's been beautiful. About 10,000 feet of elevation right now. Whew! Which is why I think I'm stuck in wind. But I also only just stood up from lunch, and now I have 2 packets of ramen in the belly as well. So anyways, we will hike on. Just wanted to check in, and I'll talk to you guys a little later. All right. Alright guys, good evening. It is 5 past 6, 50.2 degrees, and just made it to what's going to be home for the night. I'll take you over and show you the bunks in a second. So yeah, today was definitely a good day. We had that super beautiful sort of ridge walk to get up to where we are right now, which is up on a basin just inside Carson National Forest boundaries, and just about 1.5 miles or 2 miles south of Cruces Basin Wilderness. So there's my little cowboy bunk and Midday and Mome. Everyone's kind of getting ready. I mentioned earlier and didn't mention in yesterday's video that we actually got to camp like at 4:30 yesterday, 4:30 in the afternoon. So we had like kind of an extra lazy go of it, and all bunked up wicked early. So we all had super kind of fresh legs this morning. I feel like we had initially planned on going 22 miles, but got there and the day was young. Decided to push another 3 miles or so to get to where we are now. And that is up on top of this basin. As you might be able to tell in the background, we are surrounded by trees. For the most part, this is a pretty barren basin. You might be able to tell off in the distance that there isn't a lot of vegetation out there. It was a super windy ridge walk to get up here, and I was super thankful that the wind was blowing up the hill instead of down the hill, because if it had been blowing down the hill, it would have been pretty treacherous and slow going to traverse that strip of trail. But as it was actually super pleasant, and having a wind that's blowing you up a hill is better, certainly, than a hill that's blowing you down a ridge. And it was just glorious. It was a glorious little ridge walk, so couldn't think of a better way to end a pretty nice day. Yeah, did a quarter today. Basically, this is going to leave, I think, just a touch over 22 miles or something like that to get to the Colorado state line tomorrow, which is super duper exciting. And while we were hanging out at one of our earlier sort of like lunch snack stops, came up with kind of an idea of potentially camping right on the state line tomorrow. The state line is only about 3 miles or so from Cumbres Gap, which is, as I've said probably 5 times by now, the bailout spot for Chama. So yeah, so we could sleep right on the state line and then wake up and just have a quick little hour jaunt to get down to Cumbres Gap and hopefully get a hitch or something to get into town and get some food and libations and celebrate our first day in a new state. So but you know, one thing at a time. Feeling good. Today was a great day. Super beautiful day. Huge wide expansive valley, and then this ridge walk to end it. And honestly, still not a ton of snow. We were expecting way more snow on this jump from Ghost Ranch to Trauma, and we just haven't seen it yet. So I guess tomorrow's a new day, and there's always a potential for more snow tomorrow. But so far it's been great, and that's all I got. So I'm gonna eat a snack, and then I'm gonna bunk up, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.